Hello, so today we're going to look at Unit 2. Let's log in. We're focusing on using the standards and objectives we've been talking about, and our goal is to make a video sandwich. So let's go here to our Module 2. So for each week for the modules, you want to make sure to start at the top and work your way down to the bottom. So let's look at our agenda and outcomes. So this talks about the use of media and how the media has really changed and grown over the past 10 years. Here are our objectives. And I thought this was really an interesting video that talks about presentation, and Steve Jobs, one of the most successful presenters of our time. Now, if you are unsure how to use Edpuzzle, if you haven't used it before, I have these links here that will help you in creating Edpuzzles, because that will be the middle piece of our video sandwich. There's also a podcast here that talks about reasons for using video sandwiches. Video is one of the most misused tools in education today. So part of that is for us to really look at the technology of video and harnessing that as a really excellent learning tool. So the video sandwich will help us do this. Keep in mind that you have a quiz on Chapter 5. You can take the quiz up to 3 times. I'll take your highest score. And let's get started talking about the video sandwich. So you're going to create your video sandwich on a lesson activity worksheet. So let's get back here. I'm just going to minimize this down. Kind of hide that for right now. And let's go into the assignment. Okay, so the first step is you're going to pick a standard from your dream classroom, for your dream classroom. So those standards, again, you did a great job last week. You're going to pick a standard for your dream classroom from the Nevada standards for most of you. Some of you, we have one person from Florida and another person from Idaho, and it's okay for you to use those standards if that's where you're going to work. So you'll pick a standard. Remember, we don't teach the two technology, so make sure that you're picking a standard from the English language arts, math, career and technical education, social studies, science, pre-K, health, language, and fine arts. So use those categories, please. All right, so let's imagine that, let's do one for pre-K. So we'll click on the pre-K standards. And as an example, let's go grab a standard there. Okay. So here is a standard on identifying night and day. So this might be a standard that could that we could really find a video to help students understand the difference between night and day. So I'll go over here to YouTube. And I'll type in pre-K, difference between night and day. See what there is. So here's a night and day video for kids, daytime and nighttime sequence of events. We want to make sure that we really look at the video, make sure that it is age appropriate and content appropriate. So here's a night monkey, day monkey. So I might look at this, and this is a book where they're reading a book about night monkey and day monkey. Okay, so that might really be an interesting way to discuss this standard. Let's see, where did that go? There it is. Helping students identify day and night. Okay, so then that's the video that I would use. All right, so I picked my standard for my dream classroom, that standard about day and night. So I would copy the standard number and the description. So the whole thing, I would need to copy this whole thing. All of that, the standard number and the description. We need all of that. Second step is to write measurable and observable objectives. So keep in mind that the standard, that's where you want all students to be at the end of this lesson or the end of multiple lessons. So if you think about when you, let's imagine that we're going on a trip and the destination, the standard is Salt Lake City. So before I get in my car, there's many things that I have to, many skills and knowledge that I have to have before I can successfully make it to that destination of Salt Lake City. So I need gas for my car, I need maybe clothes for the trip, and I know that I'm making my way there because I will see whales on my way. I will see Windover on my way. So there's skills that you need to have, and there's also things that you will see as you get along to that end destination. So imagine that the standard is that end destination. And objectives, those are those steps along the way. What are some things that you should know or see along the way? So we need to write at least one or more measurable and observable objectives. So to really help you with this, I have a helpful 100 list. Okay, so in your module, there's a helpful 100 list, and this gives you all kinds of verbs that you can use. So maybe to understand the difference between night and day, students can color something that describes day and color a picture that describes night. Maybe they can explain what the difference is between night and day. Maybe students can name animals that will be out at nighttime and name animals that will be out during the daytime. Okay, so use these words from this helpful 100 list. Make sure you can see those there. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, let's go back in here. All right, so the first step was copying and pasting that standard, that destination where you want students to be at the end of the lesson. Step 2 is writing at least one measurable and observable objective, getting your words from that helpful 100 list. We use this format. Students will, and then you put one of those verbs, and then you say what they're going to do. So students will then you add a verb from that helpful 100 list, and then you describe what students will be doing. Okay? Now, do not use the words know, understand, comprehend, grasp, or learn. These are processes that happen in somebody's head that we actually can't, as teachers, we can't observe students doing that. We can observe students listing. We can observe students comparing. We can observe students writing. All of these things we as teachers can see. These are things that happen in someone's head, and we can't observe those. So make sure that you're using words from this helpful 100 list for this part. All right, so for the next part, this is where you write a little bit of a script. This is exactly what you're going to say to students. So write up what you're going to say to students there. So you're setting it up. You're turning a passive video experience into an engaging video experience. I'll show you some examples of that in a minute. But you're actually going to write what you're going to say. You're going to offer the video, introduce the video, and give background knowledge to understand what's going on. All right. Okay, the middle layer of the sandwich, of the video sandwich, that's where you're going to go to Edpuzzle, and you're going to use this video that we have already picked out, and you're going to add some questions in that video. We'll do that in just a minute. The last step is that you're going to put the bottom layer of the video sandwich on. So this is the interaction layer. What do you want students to do with that knowledge that they learned here in watching this video? And this is what takes that passive viewing experience and turns it into an engaging experience. So here's some things that students can do with knowledge. They can come up with a dance. They can debate. They can interview. They can make a map. They can role play what they do during the daytime, what they do during the nighttime. They can, let's see, they can draw, they can graph. All of these things are things that they take the knowledge and then use that knowledge some way. Okay, so let's write up what this would look like. So first I'm going to copy this out of here. All right, so I'm just going to put it in here for us to work with it. All right, so the first part that we need is that standard. So let's go and grab that standard from here. I'm in a meeting. I'll come out when I'm done. So I'll copy that standard. And I'll put that standard there. The next thing I want to do is keep in mind that the standard, that's the destination. That's where we want students to be able to do at the end of this lesson, or sometimes it takes multiple lessons to get to the standard. So the objectives, I'm going to use that helpful 100 list to help write some objectives. So let's go grab that helpful 100 list here. And let's see what words will work. So let's have students compare night and day, and let's have them color two different pictures. So using the format, students will compare night and day. And again, students will color pictures to describe night and day. Okay, you see how I've used words from that helpful 100 list right there. Okay, so these objectives, these are steps along the way that so that students can fulfill that standard. All right, now I'm going to write my script. This is exactly what I'm going to say to students. So students, today we are going to talk about the differences between night and day. What are clues in your world when you wake up in the morning for you to know that it is daytime? So then you would talk about what makes it daytime, and then you would ask the same question, and what are clues so that they know that it is nighttime. Okay, and then as you watch this video, think about and we would give them something to think about. The next thing is that we create our Edpuzzle. So let's go to Edpuzzle. Okay, so now that was writing the script. And so for Edpuzzle, we'll go here to Edpuzzle. And so it's having you join an account. So you would say join. Okay. Then you click on Start here. And these are the instructions. We're going to use media to help teach a topic to students. We're going to complete the lesson activity worksheet. That's what we were just doing by finding a standard, writing measurable, observable objectives. Now we're creating our Edpuzzle. So we'll click on Start. And you can search for a YouTube video here. Like for instance, I could have searched for pre-K night and day here. But I already have one right here that I found. So really either way works. You can also go to Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks. Crash Course has lots of great things. So, so you can search here or you can find one before. I kind of like finding one before because then I can make sure that my standards really fit. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and this is to edit, this is to watch the video. So if you haven't watched the video yet, click on the I to watch the video. But if you already know it's the video that you want, then you can click right here on edit. So this is really simple to use. You can crop the video. It's important to really crop the video and just get down to really the important stuff. So you can do that. So we can crop it and we can just get down to the important stuff. That's taking a minute there. We can also do voiceovers where you can add your voice and do an introduction for students. So you can record and say, hey students, we're going to be learning more about night and day. As you watch this video, I want you to notice the different animals that are out during the nighttime and the different animals that are out during the daytime. Okay, so you do that just by clicking on this record, and it will record your voice. Okay, you can keep it, or I want to reset it. I don't want that part over there. You can also have voice recording at a specific time. So maybe right at this time I want to record my voice, so I could click there. For this activity, you need to have at least 3 different kinds of questions. So here I'm going to click on quizzes. I'm going to click there. You can have an open-ended question, which is here. You can have a multiple choice question where you put in your question, and these are the question answers. This indicates whether it's the correct answer or the incorrect answer, and you can add more answers right here. Or this is a discussion where students can add in their comments that will show to others. So so tell your shoulder partner of a night when you have had a hard time falling asleep. Okay, so that's one interaction. Then I will move this up. Want it right there. Okay, so that's my first question. And then I'll move this to where I want another question. And I'll click right there. How can you tell if you are dreaming? And you can have different answer choices right here. You're asleep. So if that would be the correct answer, I would click there. So that's my second question. Okay. And then for my third question, click right there. And what other animals are active at night? Okay, so I have at least 3 different interactions there. And voiceovers count for interaction, audio counts for interaction, so you can really have any of those, any mix of those. So I'll click on Save. Then I'll say finish. Okay. Let's click submit there. So you're going to submit that to me. Okay. So I will have that project when you submit your work. So let's go back here. So I'll write here, monkeys, day and night video. Okay, so then the last step is, what do you want students to do with this knowledge? How are they going to interact with what they have learned? So here I'll say, once students have watched the video, we will go to the puppet box and talk about what animals are active in the day and which are active in the night. Okay, so let's look at each step again. First, you find your standard. Then you write at least one measurable and observable objective using the format students will. Students will put your objective there and then say what they're going to do. Make sure to use words from the Helpful 100 list. Then you're going to write your exact script. Students, today we're going to blah, blah, blah. As you watch this video, think about or take notes on, depending on the age. Then you'll create your Edpuzzle. Make sure that you have at least 3 different interactions. Those can be voiceover interactions, they can be questions. And then, what do you want students to do with that knowledge? They actually have to use and engage that knowledge by doing something. And keep in mind that I have this 60 ideas for ways that students can show you what they know. So once you have that all written up, you can just copy that and paste it right here. Okay, and that is your assignment this week. Hope you have a really good time with this. I think that you'll really like Edpuzzles. Let me show you a couple of examples here. So here's some example Edpuzzles. So here's the standard. This was a high school standard, 9 through 12. So notice that they have the standard plus the description. And here's the measurable and observable objective. Students will answer questions and we'll create a timeline. So here's the script. This is exactly what the teacher's going to say. And then they would have their Edpuzzle. And once they're done watching that video, they're going to create a timeline. So that's how they use that knowledge that they learned in the video. Let's look at another example. So here's the standard 4th grade history of planet Earth. And the objectives, students will describe how the earth is made of, and students will draw different forms. And this is exactly what the teacher's going to say, a script. Our earth is made of large pieces, land masses. While they're watching the video, they should be remembering not only the location, but also why they're there and why do we care. Here is the Ed puzzle. So instead of a YouTube video, this should be the Ed puzzle. And as you watch this video, create a little big book with the 4 most important ideas, add drawings and descriptions. So now they're using that knowledge that they learned in the Ed puzzle for that assignment. Okay, hopefully this has given you an idea of what we are doing this week. I think there's some more resources in there for you, but I think this is a great start. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.